All right, welcome in, everyone. Today, we're diving head first
Adverse.
into the world of cybersecurity.
Ooh, exciting.
Specifically, something you've probably heard a lot about,
Yeah.
but might not fully understand: multi-factor authentication,
Or as the cool kids call it,
or MFA.
MFA.
In the simplest terms, think of it as that extra lock on your digital door.
I like that analogy.
But is that extra step really worth the hassle?
That's the question.
That's what we're going to find out.
Let's find out.
We've got some fascinating insights from Huntress, a leading cybersecurity company, to guide us.
They always have great information.
Our source.
Yes.
A recent blog post by Matt Keeley, published just a few days ago on November 18th, 2024.
Oh, very recent. So it's up to date.
So it's up to date.
I think a lot of people just assume they can skip MFA.
Right.
It won't happen to me, they think.
The classic.
But Keeley points out
Yeah.
some really important exceptions
Oh.
to that everyone should use it rule.
Okay. Lay it on me.
Giga, it's a free pass.
Yeah. He really focuses on accessibility.
Yeah.
First, someone might just not have the necessary technology.
Right.
A smartphone, certain apps, even just the ability to receive text messages.
Like if you have a flip phone still.
Yeah, not everyone has the latest and greatest gadgets.
Right.
Second, even with the tech,
Okay.
understanding and setting up MFA can be tricky for those who aren't as tech savvy.
Right, especially in smaller businesses where resources are tight.
Absolutely. Those can be real barriers.
Yeah, so in those cases, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for everyone else who just finds it a bit annoying,
Annoying.
does Keeley have a message for us?
He does.
Oh, boy.
And it's pretty blunt.
Okay, hit me.
It's 2024, people.
I know.
Hackers know most of us have terrible password habits.
It's true.
They rely on the fact that we reuse passwords, pick weak ones, or just don't take security seriously.
Yeah.
Leaving MFA off is practically an invitation
It is,
for
sir.
them to walk right in.
You're leaving the door wide open. It's like leaving your front door unlocked.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
You're just asking for trouble.
You are.
And Keeley actually shares
Oh.
what's basically a hacker's playbook,
Okay.
showing just how simple an attack can be if you don't have MFA.
Oh, no.
Find a target, try common password attacks, gain access. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Huh.
No Hollywood hacking montages required.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Basic password attacks are enough to get into accounts.
Yeah,
Tell me more about those.
sure.
What are we talking about?
We're talking brute force attacks.
Okay.
Essentially trying tons of password combinations
Oh, wow.
until one works.
Okay.
Then there's password spraying,
Okay.
trying a few common passwords across a bunch of accounts, hoping someone slipped up.
Hoping somebody used password 123.
Exactly. And finally, credential attacks, which use lists of stolen usernames and passwords from data breaches,
Right.
which happen all the time,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay, that sounds pretty
Yeah.
scary.
It is a little scary.
But are credential attacks really that common?
I would say so.
Should we actually be worried?
Let me put it this way,
Okay.
Huntress. The company we're getting all this info from
Right.
detects something like 2,000
2,000
suspected credential attacks every single week.
every week.
Every week.
That's a lot.
That should give you a sense of just how widespread this is.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And they shared a real-world example.
Oh, I love a good story.
Okay, so they found a small IT company in New Zealand
Okay.
being targeted.
Uh-oh.
Someone was trying to log in from a US IP address, which was already a huge red flag.
Yeah, that's across the world.
Plus,
Yeah.
they were using a device and operating system never associated with that account before.
Oh, wow.
And of course, no MFA in place to stop them.
Because they would have just gotten right in.
They probably would.
Oh, man.
Fortunately, Huntress caught the attack in progress
Okay.
and kicked the hacker out.
Good for them.
But it makes you realize just how easily this could happen to anyone.
It's definitely a small business.
Yeah. Okay. I'm definitely starting to see the value of MFA now.
I'm glad to hear that.
It sounds like it can stop those basic password attacks in their tracks.
It can, for sure.
But does that mean
Yeah.
we're totally invincible if we have MFA turned on?
Sadly, not quite.
Okay, there's a catch.
And this is where it gets even more interesting.
Uh-oh. Lay it on me.
Even with MFA,
Yeah.
clever hackers can still find workarounds.
Okay.
We're talking about session theft.
Session theft.
Session theft.
Okay.
I know, it's a new one.
All right, you've officially piqued my curiosity.
I'm here for it.
Break that down for me.
Okay. Think of MFA like that lock on your door.
Okay.
What if a thief steals your key while the door is already unlocked? They can bypass the lock entirely.
So instead of cracking the password,
Exactly.
they're stealing your active session.
Got it. That's sneaky.
It is very sneaky.
But how do they actually get their hands on that key?
That's a great question.
How do they do it?
There are two main ways:
Okay.
active and passive theft.
Okay.
Active theft is like digital pickpocketing, tricking you into handing over your session token.
Oh, how would they do that?
Maybe through a convincing fake login page.
Those phishing scams
Phishing scams?
are everywhere these days. It's
Right.
hard to know what's real and what's fake.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But then there's passive theft,
Okay.
more like dumpster diving.
Oh, interesting.
They dig through stolen data from breaches
Oh.
or use malware to snag those session tokens right from your computer,
From your computer.
right off of your hard drive.
So they're combing through piles of digital trash,
Exactly.
hoping to find a working key instead of targeting you directly.
That's one way to put it.
That's wild.
It is pretty wild.
And I assume there's software out there that helps them do this.
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
There's a particularly nasty type of malware called Redline Stealer
Okay.
that's really good at this.
Oh, no.
It basically scrapes any saved login info from your computer, including session tokens.
This is where I start to feel like I
Yeah.
need a degree in cybersecurity
It can feel that way.
just to stay safe.
It's a lot to keep up with.
So what can we do to protect ourselves from this digital dumpster diving?
That is the million-dollar question.
What can we do?
Well, here's what's interesting.
Okay.
Preventing this kind of attack isn't so much about protecting your identity,
Okay.
but rather securing your computer itself.
Okay.
Think of it this way.
Yeah.
You need to stop that malware before it even gets a chance to steal anything.
Right. Okay.
You've got to lock down your computer.
Don't download anything shady. Be careful about clicking links, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Okay.
That digital skepticism goes a long way.
Gotta have it.
But this all begs the question.
Okay.
Well, where does this leave us on the MFA debate? Silver bullet or just a minor inconvenience?
I'm eager to hear Keeley's take on this.
Well, his stance is pretty clear.
What is it?
Any MFA is better than none.
Okay, so...
It might not make you invincible,
Right.
but it makes you a harder target.
Okay.
That's the point.
So it might not make us completely invulnerable, but it's still a big step in the right direction.
That's the key takeaway.
Oh.
Hackers are looking for the easiest targets.
Right.
If they bump into an account with MFA,
Yeah.
they might just decide
Yeah.
it's not worth the extra effort
And move on.
and move on to someone with weaker defenses.
Someone who didn't listen to this deep dive?
Hopefully not.
So it's all about making yourself a less appealing target.
You got it.
But it also sounds like there's a personal element to this.
There is.
How much effort are we really willing to put into protecting our accounts?
That's the million-dollar question.
Is it worth it to me?
It's a balancing act between convenience and security, and each person has to decide where their priorities lie.
That's a great point.
It is a tough question.
You know, we've covered a lot of ground here.
I know, right?
But before we move on, I
Yeah.
have to ask,
Hit me.
what about the different types of MFA?
Oh, the different types.
Which ones are the most secure?
Yes.
Which ones are the least annoying?
That's the real question.
Right.
Honestly, that's a conversation in itself.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Maybe a deep dive for another day.
No, there's an idea.
Ooh, I like it.
But for now, let's leave our listener with a final thought to chew on.
Okay, I like it.
If hackers are like burglars...
I like where this is going.
Yeah.
Then MFA is like installing that home security system.
Ah, I like that. It might not stop the most determined criminals out there.
But it's definitely going to make them think twice. Maybe they'll just move on to the house next door, the one without the alarm system.
Right. Why go through all that trouble when there's an easier target just a few steps away? So, after all this, the big question we're left with is it time to reconsider your stance on MFA?
Even if it feels like a bit of a hassle.
That peace of mind, knowing your accounts are more secure, that's got to be worth something, right?
Especially when you think about what's at stake.
Yeah.
Your personal data, your online accounts, even your financial security.
And hey, if you want to dig deeper into the different types of MFA,
Oh, yeah.
find out which ones strike the right balance between security and user-friendliness for you.
Well, there are mountains of resources online.
Or maybe that'll be the focus of our next deep dive.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
We'll have to see what the future holds.
I'm excited to find out.
But for now,
Yeah.
let's get back to our main source and talk a little bit about those different MFA methods.
Okay.
Because even if any MFA is better than none,
Right.
some are definitely more robust than others.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit.
What are some of the most common methods out there, and how do they stack up?
Well, The one you're probably most familiar with
Yeah.
is SMS-based MFA.
Right. The text message codes.
Exactly. You know, where you get a code texted to your phone that you have to enter to log in.
Right.
It's definitely better than nothing.
Right.
And it's easy to use. But there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
There always is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Security experts actually consider SM-based MFA to be one of the weakest forms.
Really?
I know, it's surprising.
That's so interesting because it feels so secure.
I know, you think you're good.
You get the text and you're like, yes, it's me.
Yeah, but unfortunately, phone numbers can be spoofed.
Oh, wow.
SIM cards can be swapped.
Oh, man.
And SMS messages themselves can sometimes be intercepted.
So even though it feels secure,
Yeah.
there are still vulnerabilities.
Sadly, yes.
So what's a step above that then?
Well, a step up from SMS are authenticator apps.
Okay, yeah.
These generate time-based codes on your phone
Okay.
that are much harder to intercept.
Okay.
Think of apps like Google Authenticator or Authy.
Oh, yeah, I've definitely seen those around.
They're pretty popular.
Are they pretty user-friendly?
You know, they do require an extra step of setting them up
Yeah.
and getting used to using them.
Right.
But they're generally considered very secure.
Okay.
And once they're set up, they're really not that much more hassle than SMS codes.
So a little more upfront effort,
A little more effort.
but more peace of mind in the long run.
You got it.
That's worth it.
And then at the top of the security food chain,
Oh, here we go.
you have hardware-based security keys.
Those sound intense. What are those like?
These are little physical devices,
Oh.
kind of like a USB stick,
Okay.
that you plug into your computer to authenticate.
Okay.
They use incredibly strong cryptography,
Wow.
making them very difficult to hack.
So this is for like people who have information that
Yeah.
really needs to be kept safe.
Definitely.
Okay.
You'll see them a lot in finance, government,
Okay.
and anywhere where data security is paramount.
So those are not for the faint of heart.
Not necessarily for everyday users, no.
Gotcha. So we've got a spectrum of options here, from SMS codes, which are better than nothing, to those hardcore security keys.
The whole range of options.
What factors should someone consider when deciding which method is right for them?
Well, it all comes back to that balancing act we were talking about earlier, convenience versus security.
Right.
Ask yourself,
Yeah.
what are you trying to protect? How comfortable are you with a little bit of extra hassle? And how tech-savvy are you?
Those are great questions to consider.
They're important ones.
It's not one size fits all.
Right.
Every situation is going to be different.
It depends on your needs.
You know, reading this blog post from Huntress,
Yeah.
it really strikes me that Keeley isn't just advocating for MFA.
I agree.
He's advocating for a shift in our mindset about online security.
I think you're right.
He's not just saying turn on MFA.
No.
He's saying wake up, be aware, and take your digital security seriously.
He wants us to be proactive.
Exactly.
Re-
And that's something everyone can benefit from, whether you're a tech whiz or just starting to learn the ropes.
Everyone needs to be aware.
So, with that in mind, what's the biggest takeaway you want to leave our listener with today?
I think the most important thing is this.
Yeah.
Don't wait for something bad to happen before you start taking your online security seriously.
Right.
The tools are out there.
They are.
MFA being a prime example.
It's a great tool.
It's all about being proactive and taking steps to protect yourself before you become a target.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So, folks, if you haven't already, now might be the time to give that MFA button a second look. It might just save you a major headache down the road.
It really might.
It's like that old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Absolutely. And in the digital world, that ounce of prevention could be as simple as turning on MFA.
It really could make all the difference.
You never know.
Well, I think we thoroughly unpacked this topic.
I think so. Yeah, what do you think?
I think we hit all the high points.
I think we did a good job.
Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
Just this, the landscape of cybersecurity is constantly evolving.
It is. It's hard to keep up.
What works today might not be enough tomorrow.
Right.
So it's crucial to stay informed.
Stay informed.
Stay vigilant
Be
and be willing to adapt your security practices as needed.
flexible.
Exactly. Be ready for anything.
Great advice. And hey, that's what we're here for.
That's what we try to do.
To help you navigate the ever-changing world of information.
It's a wild world out there.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into MFA,
Yeah.
be sure to subscribe to the podcast for more insightful explorations of the topics that matter most.
We've got a lot more deep dives
We've
coming.
got lots of good stuff planned.
And don't forget to check out the show notes for links to some fantastic resources where you can learn even more about MFA and other cybersecurity best practices.
There's a lot of good information out there.
We try to curate the best for you.
Until next time,
Yes.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
And keep on learning.
We'll talk to you next time.